Thank you very much. So we will try to make it quickly. I believe that you're waiting for the lunch, so let's dive in without any longer hesitate. So, like we said before, I'm Margaret. You can call me Gosia too. This is a short form of my name. And today I will tell you a little bit about the global rollout strategy. Tell me a little bit more about you. Who had this experience before? Who make the rollouts for more than 5 shops, for example? Is there anybody? Okay, there is one person. So I believe that the case that I will show you today maybe give you a little bit more feeling about it. So today we will talk about our approach, which we choose in Divante with our client Senetic. And Senetic challenged us with quite ambitious, I believe, challenge. So they told us that they would like to make 150 shops on one instance of one Magento 2 commerce instance. So seems easy, right? Let me start from the first thing, which is introducing you to our client. So Senetic, it's a global provider of IT solutions. They're selling hardware and software solutions and products, and like you saw on the last slide, they are on the market for 10 years. They are focused on B2B clients, and they have 27 offices around the world. They trade on 142 markets, and they have around 2 million clients per year. So they know what is going on with e-commerce, and they know exactly how they want to do it, which it means that it brings us to the pros and cons with cooperating with that aware client. So, where we started. We met Senetic at the end of 2017, and then we decided, when we decided that we want to work together, Senetic has only one platform, which was a dedicated solutions. They wrote everything from the scratch. So this software, it was really hard to maintain. So unfortunately, creating a new shops mostly took around 4 months. It was not acceptable for the client, and it was too expensive for them. If they wanted to be so ambitious and cover almost all of the world with one software, then we knew that it's too long. What more, today in this presentation, I will be focused on the hardware products. I will tell you later a little bit why. So they had at the time like 39 shops which they sell this kind of products. When we started to work together, we set 3 goals. We knew that we want to be as soon as possible on the market. So for us, the MVP, it's a crucial point and needs to be really, really short because we want to check if we're going right, we want to test our ideas. So we choose as a first market USA. They didn't exist there, so it was easier way, and we can test and make an exam of our ideas without harming clients and almost immediately expand the sales for the Senetic. The second, like I mentioned before, short time to market for the next clients, for the next markets. So we knew that this is only MVP, but then we want to be really, really fast, and we want to roll up really quickly. And of course, if we want to make 150 shops, we need to have a solution which is really easy to use, flexible, and we can repeatedly use what we developed already. So which strategy we choose? So at the beginning, we started, first we choose all of the markets which Senetic doesn't exist already. So we knew that we can create solution which will be new for the markets, and then it will be a little bit easier because we don't have to do so much custom. The second, we choose only hardware products. Like you said so before, in their offer they have a software and hardware, but the software was hard. It needed to make a more customization. It needed to have a more integration. So in that case, we choose something simple, which help us to be faster. So we set some ground rules with Senetic. So we decided that we will make as much as possible stores, web stores on one instance Magento, and we want to have only one code base. It was mostly because of 2 reasons. First, the new markets, the requirements and functionalities on the shops, they were exactly the same. And the second, we knew that Senetic wants to have only one team who will fulfill all order process, so they needed to have only one administration panel, and they can take care of all of the management there. The next key assumption that we took, it was that we want to stick how much possible to standard of Magento. Why? Because Senetic has this experience before, quite painful, because they're working on dedicated platform, and it took a lot of effort and a lot of money to make this solution up to date, to create from the scratch all of the functionalities. So Magento Standard gives us the possibility that we can use the wide range of Magento and Marketplace. So we wanted to use it how much it was possible. And the next one, like I said to you before, we limited type of the products, and we were focused on the features who are global. What does it mean global? We knew that we need to cover 150 shops in the future. So that means that with every single decision that you're making, creating some feature, this feature needs to be global. This feature needs to be good just right now, but needs to be good in 2 years for the next 50, 60, 70 countries. So we started from analysis phase, and we decided what will be for us MVP, what kind of feature we need, etc., etc. So then we took care of Senetic.com. This is this US market. And then we decided to test our ideas. So we knew that we developed that. We knew that we want to be really fast. But we took the next country, which was Canada in that case. And with that, we test what we done already. And with our settings, with our approach at the beginning, we assumed that it will be only adding the new payments methods, and that's all. Yeah, we can release new shops. But the reality, of course, it's not that simple. So we needed to make some optimization of our process. I will tell you a little bit more about it, but we needed to have some tools which will help us to make the shops faster. And we achieved that. So in that case, we knew that we can speed up and make more and more shops in 1 month, one time, so make it parallel. We made this small analysis phase again, like mini one, because we figured out, okay, we know what we are doing right now, but we know that we need to be prepared for example, next 5 shops that we will do. So in that case, we figured out, okay, we need to prepare the business. So the business needs to set up the local offices, for example, or they need to prepare the catalog of the products, take care of the prices, taxes, etc. The second one, they need to give us all of the information about the new shops. So for example, what is the domain, what will be the currency, etc., etc. So with all of this information, business is ready, we collect all of the data. Then Divante, so my company, we took care of this plan, how to roll out this. So we figured out, okay, these 5 shops, we can work together parallel. This one we need to do later, this one we will invest later, etc., etc. We discussed it with the Senetic, and then we were ready to go. Like you will see above, this is quite important. The Magento allowed us to create the shops on the 3 different levels. So there is a website, there is a store, and store view. We knew that if we want to put a lot of web shops on the one instance of Magento, we need to test how many of them we can do that. So with our testing, we figured out that the biggest possibility we will have of this level store view. But it's not that simple, because this limitation, they are not allowing to put all of the shops on this level. Sometimes the difference between currencies or, for example, payment methods, they are not allowed to configure your store on the website level or view storefront level, so on storefront level. So in that case, I'm sorry, I'm into the PWA so much, so this is why I mix the words. Okay, so in that case, you will see that Australia and 3 other shops, they are on view storefront level, but the Canada, we cannot do it this way. We needed to stick with website. So with every time on the project, we always need to talk about it, we always need to figure it out if it's possible to do it on store view or not. Okay, I mentioned that the smart planning it's key to make it fast. So we knew that we want to take care of few markets in the same time, but we need to have a key how to do it. So for us, for example, we use the investment that we've done already. So for example, you translate all of the content for Spanish. Okay, so in that case, we can cover all of the new markets which they're using the language. Or for example, you're going with a currency, or you're going with a payment methods. There is always some features which helps you to group the markets that you can go on the next round. And of course, Magento, it's not only one system in this whole big puzzles. Senetic and Magento, our Magento solutions right now, it's connected to ERP system. In ERP, they're taking care of the, of course, orders, invoices, stocks, etc. And we're using a PIM solutions, which is really, really helpful with all of that content and information about the projects. And in our case, it's Akeneo. What's more, what you should know. If you're going with that ambitious project, you need to have a good infrastructure. The infrastructure which will be global and which will help you to scale how fast you need. So in that case, we use our cloud Magento solutions. So we create based on the Magento, based on the Docker, and based on the Kubernetes, which is open source solution for managing the containers applications. And in that case, we are able to decrease, for example, or increase the parameters of the infrastructure when we need it. And this was really, really useful at the beginning when we test our MVP version and we wanted to check how many of users we can handle or if we need to put more or less parameters. What's more, we use Fastly. Fastly, it's a CDN for Varnish, so it's allowed us to cache all of the data which we serve to our clients. And at the beginning, because we knew that our clients, they will come from around the world, so from the edges of the world. So in that case, we choose USA and we choose Australia, just to put like a send request from them to our example instance in Europe. And in that case, we check how fast the response will be. So as you can see, for example, from Australia, it was almost 2 seconds, so it was not acceptable. But when we turn off Fastly, this statistic definitely go down, and this was the point that we can figure it out. Okay, we can really start. What we did, I mentioned that before. If we wanted to take care of so many stores in one moment and we wanted to put a lot, like for example 5 in the same time, then we knew that we need to optimize some of the processes. And we figured out our own mechanism, how to set up the shop really quickly and how to put all of the default information to the shop just to our client can start work on it. So we take care of some shop installers, configuration installers, static pages installers. Make it really simple. What it means? It means that we have at least 2 test environments. We have developers which they need to have an environment on their local computers. So we have all the time like a 5 environment at least. All of them, they should be similar. All of them should have like 20 shops in one time. So in that case, with this mechanism, we were able to do it automatically. Okay, so where we are right now with that quite long journey. We are, of course, not at the end. Right now, I will show you quickly how it was. So we split with Senetic our journey for the key elements, for the key phases. Like I said before, business analysis, then the MVP version, then the quick check in Canada, and then we started to make groups, like 3 shops on one time, 4 shops, 5. The biggest one, I think that we took 6 countries in one moment and we developed them parallel. So At the beginning of 2019, we were able to, after 1 year almost, we are able to release 21 shops in one Magento instance, which allowed Senetic to sell their websites with hardware on 69 countries. And the shortest time when we had the first task in Jira, our task management system, to put the shop on the production, it was 2 weeks. So it was extremely fast. Extremely even for the client, because as I mentioned before, the client sometimes was not able to prepare all of the business elements, like I mentioned, set up, for example, the offices, or translate all of the catalog. So not all of the shops that are published already, but they are ready for the client, and we're just waiting for the business. I said like beginning of 2019, because right now we fill all of the new markets that the Senetic doesn't exist before. And right now we are focused on migration between this dedicated platform to Magento platform. And this year we are really focused on that, and the speed we will speed up at the end of the year again when the MVP solution for that migration will be ready. So, if you need to remember from that presentation something before the lunch special, so please remember about 3 key things. First, make it simple. Because you're investing your own money, it's really important to first invest small, check if it's working or not on the real market, on the real customers. And then invest more, check, invest more, etc., etc. So if you can go with a simple solution, check if it's working, then make a more custom. The second, if you want to make this global rollout, think about the elements which you can reuse. So invest if you know that it will be worth to use it in the next countries, in the next web shops which you create. And the third one, prepare the plan. Knowing where you're going and how you want to go there, it's always make your job simple and keeping you on the track. So prepare that and go with your plans, change it how many times you need it, but in that case, you really will know where you're going. Thank you very much. Any questions that I can answer, or maybe you can find me later. I will be here all the time, so probably it will be really, really easy to find me or some of my colleagues. So, any questions for now? No. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the time. Thank you.